Ericsson also getting a yellow card. Wolves have Rui Patricio in goal. We've got Ryan Bennett, Connor Cody and Willie Bolly, the back three. Matt Doherty, Leander Dendoncker, Ruben Neves and Johnny. Then Ivan Caballero, Adama Traore and Raul Jimenez is the lone striker. Maybe need to get some more support up to him as the second half unfolds, with Wolves trailing here by 1-0. Kieran Trippier is just being assessed by the medical team. Of course, Carl Walker-Peters is able deputy at right back. Of course, played against Bournemouth and created 3 of the goals of the 5 that they scored. He's just feeling the back of his head, is Kieran Trippier. Looks a little bit groggy, actually, so I just wonder whether he might not be able to continue. We'll have to keep an eye on that. He's just leaving the field for now. Spurs, I don't think a free kick was given, actually. I think the ref just stopped the game because it was a head injury. So we'll see how the game restarts. Mauricio Pochettino, and in fact he might have given a free kick, actually. It's going to restart anyway with Hugo Lloris. So Wolves are trying to push up on the keeper. He belts it left-footed over the halfway line. Kane looks like he was being held there by Bennett as he tries to turn on it. It was a bit of holding there by the Wolves defender. They've taken the free kick quickly. It's Harry Winks. Spurs still temporarily down to 10 men. Winks plays it back to the halfway line. Sissoko's just slotted in at right back for now. And it's with Ben Davies on this left-hand side. We'll see whether Trippier can continue. Here's Christian Eriksen, who had a shot from the edge of the area in that first half that was tipped onto the bar by Rui Patricio. Now it's with Davinson Sanchez. Sissoko down that right-hand touchline. Sissoko tried to feed it into Dele Alli, comes off a Wolves boot, goes out of play. We had 4 minutes of the second half, and Kieran Trippier has come back onto the field, but I have to say he still doesn't look quite right to me.
No, there's a little bit of a glaze in his eyes. He's not as he's not walking with as much vigour as he was earlier on in the game. I think he might be able to just run it off, but it's still going to be a nasty one, to say the least, the next few minutes for him, because I mean, especially in this sort of weather, any sort of foul on you is going to be quite nasty.
That was a good play from Adama Traore. I tell you what, Ben Davies almost brought him down there, and he was on a yellow card as well. The Tottenham defender sped past him, did the Wolves man. And it's in possession here for Wolves down the right-hand side. A little step over there from Neves. It's out to the right-back Doherty. Back into Neves once more. And it's cleared by Tottenham. Ben Davies tidying up with Christian Eriksen, who's helping out there. It's good play from Tottenham to play their way out of trouble. Here's Dele Alli midway inside his own half. He's looking forward to pick out a teammate, but now just goes back to Harry Winks. Trippier on the ball. Now it's with Davinson Sanchez. Sanchez, that was a bit of a loose one to Trippier, but he guides it back to Lloris. But a bit more purpose about Wolves. They're pushing up a bit further, aren't they? And trying to press Tottenham a bit more, and they've actually won the ball there quite high up the pitch. Here's Traore. Gets a bit of Davis. Traore thought he should have had a shot there maybe. Then goes to the effort at a tighter angle. It hits Alderweireld. Goes behind. I think he lost the chance there, Adama Traore.
Yeah, he really did. I don't think he expected to get away from the initial challenge from Ben Davies, and he was being quickly charged down by Alderweireld, Davis and Dele Alli, who's on his way back, so I think he's had to go wider. He did well to win a corner for his side, but Wolves playing with far more pressure now, a higher line, and they're creating more opportunities.
Yeah, they've had more corners than Tottenham as well. They're 5th of the game. It's a deep one, this one. Dele Alli deals it, comes to the edge of the area, back into the middle. Neves was claiming a foul there, but Tottenham could catch Wolves on the break here. Christian Eriksen, look at the space for Son if he goes to the right, but he's not played the right ball, and it's tied it up by Wolves at the back. They had 2 against 1 there. Sissoko would have been completely free had Son got onto that, but then a poor clearance from Patricio puts Tottenham back in possession inside the Wolves half of the field. And unlike Christian Eriksen, they're not to pick out Son down that inside right channel. It's picked up again here by Tottenham. Just slowed it down. They're back inside their own half, but an excellent opportunity wasted, perhaps on both sides really. Traore at one end, and then it was the break on, and Son, who could have been through on goal, or could have at least been one-on-one with the last defender, with Sissoko up in support. Here's Traore. He's getting on the ball a lot more here, and he's on the ball again, this time on the left-hand flank for Wolves. It goes back to Willie Bolly, and it's collected here on the right-hand flank here for Wolves. by Dendoncker. Not seen too much of that Wolves midfield, though, have we? Neves, Dendoncker, not really getting on the ball. Being dominated, I think, really by Winks and Sissoko.
Yeah, they really are. And in that first half, Wolves' main attacking play was just playing it out from the defence with a long ball aiming to either Cavallero or Traore so they could run at the Tottenham defence, and it didn't really work. But now the likes of Dendoncker and Neves are slowly getting more and more possession. They can start creating a bit more in the midfield because, well, ever since the second half has started, they've probably got more touch than they did the entirety of the first 45, and it's been a far closer encounter in this second half.
Here's Harry Winks on the ball for Spurs. Out to the right-hand flank it goes. They pick it up there. Do Tottenham with Trippier. Now it's a Kane. Neat turn from Kane away from his man. Trippier in support over on the right-hand side. Slight miscontrol by Trippier, but he gets the break of the ball, and then he runs into the Wolves man. Johnny goes down. Spurs fans claiming a free kick. Nothing doing as far as Stuart Atwell's concerned. I think that was the right decision, really. I think just Johnny standing his ground there for Wolves, and now it's a free kick to Tottenham. And Nuno Espirito Santo not too happy with the outcome of that decision. Still Tottenham 1, Wolves 0 early in the second half, but a bit more positive from Wolves in this second period. They were too passive in that first 45 minutes. At least they're getting in and amongst the Tottenham defenders and putting a bit more pressure on them. Adama Traore's got on the ball a couple of times. He got into a shooting position but took an extra touch and eventually won a corner. Then Spurs missed a great opportunity to try and pick Wolves off on the break as they tried to find Son through an Ericsson pass, and Sissoko would have been clean through as well, but it was tidied up by Wolves. But at least the visitors are showing a bit more positivity, as they have to in this second period. They trail by 1-0.
Chance for Tottenham on the right-hand side. Trippier trying to whip the ball in. It completely baffled Rui Patricio, who came out to try and collect. Completely missed it. And he was lucky that it was Doherty just behind him that picked up possession for his side. Although they have gifted it right back to Tottenham. And now they can keep possession and keep the pressure on Wolves. Ericsson now plays a 1-2 with Davinson Sanchez before finding Alderweireld on the left-hand side, slowly making his way into Wolves territory. Ben Davies now on the left, not a lot of pressure on him by any man in goal, who will look to dart inwards, finds Ali. Sissoko now plays it to Ericsson, back to Ali. Davies has gone even further forward. He's actually inside the box now, the fullback, and he is forced to come out. It's now with Trippier on the far side. It's good defence by Wolves. They force the error by Kieran Trippier, and now Raul Jimenez has got support in Traore if he can find him. Looks like he's going to try and go alone. It's well defended though there by Alderweireld, and he will safely play the ball out, play for a throw-in. I thought Jimenez had a great opportunity there to play through Traore, who would have burst away from the Tottenham defence. Yeah,
it was poor from Trippier. I just wonder if he's still feeling the effects of that bang on the head he had earlier. But yeah, Traore made a good run. He got in behind Trippier, as you say there. But Alderweireld really strong, wasn't he, against Raul Jimenez? Just got across. Of course, that extension to his contract, triggering that release clause as well in Toby Alderweireld's contract, which could see him leave at the end of the summer. Long throw in here from Wolves though, which was conceded by that Alderweireld tackle. Ryan Bennett is going to make use of it. He's trying to hurl it into the box, and it goes towards the edge of the 6-yard area. Sissoko it is who wins the header. Comes back to Bennett though for Wolves, and now it's with Caballero. Neat bit of skill, plays a decent cross in, but again well defended by Alderweireld. Bit better this from Wolves though. Caballero, that's a poor cross, as I say. That's going too deep, but it's collected by Wolves on the edge of the area. And then a really speculative effort from the left corner of the box. It was never going to trouble Hugo Lloris, whose rollout wasn't brilliant, but it's got a little bit fortunate because it's broken to Son, and now it's with Sissoko, who charges over halfway. I think he thought Harry Kane was going to take that, but he doesn't. Then Kane plays a diagonal ball from left to right looking for Dele Alli, but it's tidied up by Wolves, and it's back with Rui Patricio. But both sides, at least, it's opened up a bit more, hasn't it, the game?
Yeah, it has. It's getting really, really scrappy. I mean, there was a good bit of play from either side when they were coming forward. But in that little bit of a brief moment that we've just seen, so we've seen Trippier commit an error that almost gifted Wolves an opportunity. I mean, the throw from Lloris is absolutely woeful. He's so lucky that he's just completely caught all the Wolves players off guard. And it was Dele Alli who came in to intercept when they didn't really know where the ball was. And then Sissoko ran into his own man, Kane. And Kane tried to go long towards Ali, and then that pass was poor. So the quality is very infrequent at the moment. Occasionally you get moments of brilliance like we've seen with Harry Kane's goal. But far too many times we've seen countless misplaced passes and just a lack of communication in either side. But now a great opportunity now for Tottenham.
Yeah, Son into the box on the left-hand side. He's faced by 3-4 Wolves players. Lays it to the edge of the box. Here's Dele Alli. Dele Alli will flick back to Son. I think Davies might have been the best option there, but Son hadn't anticipated the pass, and it just drifts behind harmlessly for a goal kick to Wolves, who are going to make a change. I think Helder Costa's going to come on here for Wolves. So the first change is going to be made, and well, Traore, is it going to be him going off? I think it's a little bit unfortunate. He's just starting to get into the game, and he's going to take him off, unless he's picked up a bit of an injury. Is he moving freely there? Just wonder whether he's been withdrawn again there. That's the problem that Wolves, Traore is going to have here. But a bit of a surprise if there's nothing wrong with Traore, because I just thought he was beginning to become a little bit more of a threat for them. Yeah,
he was slowly getting more and more into that game. He was causing a lot of issues for the Tottenham side. I think he has got a little bit of a nibble. I'm not entirely sure if it's a muscle problem or if he's taken a clip from a tackle. Either way, that is a massive, massive blow for Wolves, because like I said, Adama Traore on his day can cause any defence in the league a whole host of problems. And although Helder Costa is very, very talented as well, doesn't possess the same amount of pace and skill as Adama Traore, but he is now on the pitch, Helder Costa.
Brighton have just taken the lead against Everton in the just short of the hour mark. It's played over the top here from Tottenham, looking for Ericsson. Willy Bolly is there for Wolves. He actually keeps it in over on the far side, approaching the hour mark here as well. Tottenham still lead Wolves by a goal to nil, scored by Harry Kane, but Wolves still in this game, of course, just the one down. Tottenham were 3 up against Bournemouth at half-time on Boxing Day, and that game was gone, but at least this one could be a bit more competitive in the final half an hour of it. Wolves are in possession with Connor Cody, plays a diagonal ball left to right, finds Helder Costa, gets his first touch. He's just slotted in on that right-hand side. He's up against Ben Davies here. Sissoko trying to help out. Here's Doherty, not the best of crosses, but it actually almost deflected through to Raul Jimenez. Wolves keep possession. You can tell that Nuno Espirito Santo's got into them at half-time. He's told them to get a bit further up the pitch. They're doing just that, and causing 1 or 2 more issues for this Tottenham team. And Sissoko gets a foot in there, and it's had a play, and it is a throw-in to Wolves, and Ryan Bennett will hurl another long one. If you've got the use of a long throw, might as well use it. And despite all the swashbuckling football that Wolves have played in the Championship, and then also the first half of this season, they've got that weapon as well, and it almost causes problems for Tottenham. Jurgen Locadia scored, by the way, for Brighton to make it 1-0 in the game against Everton, and it's had a play for another throw to Wolves down the right hand flank, and just wonder whether Bennett was going to stride forward to throw another one into the box. Doherty's just looking at him, but Doherty plays it short this time, and it goes towards the touchline. Now comes here to Helder Costa. Poor ball in from him, though, easily away by Alderweireld. And then Bennett seemed to have an armful of Harry Kane there as he was challenging for the ball. It's had a play, and it's a Tottenham throw. But at least Spurs having a bit more of a worry as far as defensive duties are concerned.
Yeah, they're forced to do a few more tackles, a bit more clearances. I wouldn't say they're still being massively troubled. The problem with playing one striker, if you're a side, you need that striker to do a lot of hold-up play, and because 9 times out of 10 he is going to be isolated. I don't think Jimenez is that sort of striker. He doesn't have the same amount of physicality as someone maybe like Olivier Giroud does. They can really hold up the possession for your side. I think he's a player that works better in a 2-man attack, so he can sort of bit of interchange of passing, sort of utilise a bit of pace as well. Because at the moment it's really hard for him to break away from the likes of Alderweireld and Sanchez, who are defending relatively easily against him at the moment.
Connor Cody plays it from left to right. It's taken on the chest from Doherty. Doherty infielded to Jimenez very deep here, the Wolves centre forward. He's trying to get into the game, I suppose. It's Cody with the ball from right to left this time. Might get a chance here for Caballero. A little bit of hesitation between Trippier and Sanchez, and it's collected by Winks on the edge of the box. He plays it out to Dele Alli. And Tottenham can build again through Harry Winks. Poor ball from him though. Wolves have won it back. They're not having a bad spell here, Wolves, at the start of this second half. With Johnny on the left-hand side, it's going to be a Wolves throw-in. We're saying though that they're still not being troubled really at Tottenham, but Tottenham haven't actually created anything at the start of the second half as an attacking force. So got into their shell a little bit, and Wolves asking a few more questions. It's with Johnny with this throw-in. Takes it down the left. Oh, and then he miscontrols it, and his own player nutmegs him, and it's out for a throw-in on the far side, and Tottenham will restart. Kieran Trippier, just wonder whether Maurizio Pochettino might be looking at a change here. He's got the likes of Lucas Moura on the bench to maybe bring on to kickstart Tottenham in this second period. And it's Winks who volleys it forward, but no one there in a white shirt inside the Wolves half as it's played out to this right-hand side. And Matt Doherty for Wolves to Helder Costa, the substitute. Costa tries to twist and turn away from his man. Picks out Dendoncker. Now back to Costa once more. Costa finds Doherty. Doherty. Well, Wolves are keeping possession, but they're not really doing much with it. That's the danger. As you say, Tottenham still reasonably comfortable, but at least Wolves having a lot more of the ball and showing there's a bit more what they can do as they give it away right on cue.
Yes, it's sort of a commentator's curse there. I mean, Wolves have definitely played better in their second half. That cannot be understated, really. But even so, yes, they're keeping hold of possession, but they're not testing Lloris's goal at all. I mean, sure, you could sort of say the same for Tottenham. I mean, they haven't really created a great deal of out-and-out chances. I mean, their goal came from just a moment of individual brilliance from about 30 yards out. You wouldn't say they've created any opportunities from inside the box really at all in this game. And that really is something that would have to change. They're in possession at the moment, though. They might be able to spring something from this attack.
Yeah, Tottenham are down the right-hand flank here with Moussa Sissoko into Dele Alli, goes for the return. Sissoko tries to charge into the box, and he fouled his man there. Wolves have cleared it anyway, and they've dealt with it through Willy Bolly, plays it up towards halfway, loose touch there, but well won back by Ruben Neves after a poor first touch. And is that going to be offside against Wolves? No, they could be in here. Caballero down the left-hand flank. Oh, he's almost trodden on the ball there. Good opportunity for Wolves, and in behind that Tottenham defence, and when you get opportunities like that, you've got to try and take them, but Tottenham are suddenly the ones struggling to find their rhythm in the second period. Yeah, they really are. I mean, I think there was a mixture of unfortunate play there from Caballero and good defending by Sanchez. Sanchez just sort of forced Caballero to accidentally stand on the ball and gifted the opportunity for the Colombian to make the tackle. Although, you just have a sneaky suspicion that if that was Adama Traore that was running on the end of that ball, that might have been a different outcome for Wolves. Tottenham then down the right-hand flank. It's played to Moussa Sissoko. Now to Harry Winks, still 30 yards from the Wolves goal. Just turns away from his man. Just plays it short to Sissoko. Again, it goes back to the halfway line. And now Toby Alderweireld picks up possession and finds Ben Davies. Davies into Ali. Bit of space to turn into there, Ali, but actually went without the ball and has got it back again here. It's now with Ericsson. Ericsson into Davinson Sanchez. Sissoko. Sissoko again. Wolves pushing up well and putting them under a bit of pressure. It's gone back all the way back to Hugo Lloris, but as you were saying, Will, they've not tested him yet as much, so that's the trouble for Wolves. But they do have the threat, though. That's the thing. It's not like it's Huddersfield struggling for goals. Wolves do have goals in them, which will still give them a bit of hope. Yeah, they'll always still be in this game as long as it's 1-0, because they definitely have players on the pitch that can score. It's just whether or not they can start testing Lloris, maybe just going for efforts from a bit further out to just test the goalkeeper a little bit. Just maybe hope for a fumble. So they're not even risking shots from about 25 yards, or at least just outside the box. They're always trying to cross it in and hoping for something inside the penalty area. And at the moment, Tottenham are just really easily defending that at the moment. Looks like there's going to be a substitution from either side that's about to be made, and hopefully that can change the game for them. It's Dele Alli, good bit of skill. Gets it towards Kane, but too far in front of him. And Wolves on the counter-attack here. The Helder Costa. Costa running down the right-hand side, faced by Alderweireld. Ericsson trying to get back there. Ben Davies had gone forward. Here's Costa still for Wolves, coming in off that right-hand flank on his left foot. Here's Caballero, dips his shoulder, gets the shot in. It's way over the bar, and that sums up his afternoon. We'll have an update. We'll have those changes and then we'll take you through to full time with Tottenham still in front. Just to say it's Lucas Moura who we thought would come on for Tottenham, who is going to be introduced. We're just seeing who's going off, and I think the Wolves change is coming first actually. Jean Moutinho is coming on for Leander Dendoncker, and it's Dele Alli who's going off for Tottenham, who doesn't look too happy about it, but maybe just protecting that hamstring strain that he had, but hasn't really had much influence in the second half. Dele Alli off, and Lucas Moura is on. Still Spurs 1, Wolves 0, but it's Wolves asking more of the questions really in the second half. Tottenham haven't got going since the break, and they haven't actually troubled Rui Patricio once in this second half. Wolves are certainly pushing up the pitch a lot further than they did in the first half, and they had an opportunity. Caballero was in down the left-hand side. He was behind the Tottenham defence, but he actually trod on the ball as he ran down the left flank. He was in behind Kieran Trippier, and the chance went to begging. Adama Traore looks to have picked up a slight injury, which is a blow for Wolves because he was just having an impact on the game. He has gone off. Lucas Moura has just replaced Dele Alli for Tottenham as far as they're concerned, and Spurs to lead by a goal to nil.
Possession with Wolves on the right hand side with Matt Doherty. Here's going to be myself, Will Maxwell, that will take you through to full time of this off-tube studio commentary. The scoreline is still Tottenham Hotspur 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. Connor Cody now finding Bennett. Bit of pressure on him by the substitute Lucas Moura, but Bennett does find Helder Costa. He's well dispossessed though by Eriksson, and then just about wins it back after it cannoned off the heel of Doherty. And now it is spread towards the left-hand side by Neves to find Johnny. Cavallero forced a bit further wide by Sanchez. We'll play it back to Johnny. Plays a 1-2 with Cavallero before trying to skip away from Sissoko, and does. And he just nearly found Jimenez. I thought he also won a free kick. Nothing given though by Stuart Atwell, but a poor bit of communication by Tottenham has gifted possession back to Wolves. Neves trying to float it towards Jimenez. Well headed away this time by Alderweireld. Now it looks like Kane will try and come forward for Tottenham. No foul given though by Stuart Atwell yet again. That was
a foul, wasn't it? That was a foul, I have to say. Here come Wolves up.
Yeah, Helder Costa on the right hand side. It's a dangerous ball in. Nearly found Doherty, and he just kicked the ball into the floor really. It was a scuff shot that fell kindly to Sissoko, but he's gifted possession back to Wolves. It's very scrappy stuff at the moment in this game. Possession still with Wolves in an attacking area. It's with Jimenez. Only Doherty in the box we need to aim for. He will find Johnny now on the left hand side, being hustled and harried by Winks. Will just about get the ball in, headed away by Davis. Possession still with Wolves though, and Moutinho will play it backwards to Neves, who slipped, but thankfully for him it did go to Willy Bolly. Now it's with Bennett. Now with Jimenez. So supporting Moutinho on the right hand side. He'll play a back heel towards Costa, aiming towards Johnny on the far side. He's got Cavallero in support. Tries to find him, but it has been deflected away from danger by Trippier. Wolves keeping possession though, and keeping this pressure. It's probably the best bit of, well, at least the most prolonged bit of pressure, I should say, that Wolves have had in this entire game.
Playing quite well, aren't they, Wolves, at the minute? Keeping the ball a lot better, as you say, and just need to create a clear-cut chance.
Yeah, there's that one thing that's been missing for them in this tie. Now with Willy Bolly, and a lot of pressure on him, he's got a bit of space to move forward into. But he decides to go backwards though and find Connor Cody, who will play it along towards Johnny. Cavallero forced backwards by Trippier. It's good twisting and turning to get a bit of space. Good ball in by Cavallero, headed away by Alderweireld. It's falling kind of though to Doherty. He'll find Ruben Neves. Spreads it to Moutinho, looking for any sort of runner. Will try and chip the ball over to Cavallero. It's got support in the box, tries to play it across on the outside of the boots, but it will be headed away and out for a corner kick by Ben Davis. This is really good pressure though from Wolves.
Yeah, it was put across though, that wasn't it, from the left. They're a bit lucky to get a corner, but it's giving the Wolves fans some hope. We said set pieces could be key for Wolves today. They've got another one here. They've got someone like Moutinho who's delivering them now on the pitch, and chance to get this ball, this outswinger in. A bigger side than Spurs, so they've got more bigger players, I should say, than Tottenham have.
No, we're surprised by the lack of players Wolves are throwing forward. Only 4 men in the box, but still managed to find its way in. It was a brilliant corner kick by Moutinho. There was only 4 players to aim for in the Wolves box, and about 9 players back for Tottenham. That didn't stop Willy Bolly though. He rose the highest. Brilliant header by him. Lloris got a hand to it, but he just couldn't keep it out. It's Tottenham 1, Wolves 1.
Well, it's taken more than 70 minutes for Wolves to have their first effort on target, and they have taken it. So we thought they might be a threat from set pieces this afternoon, and that is how they have got the equalising goal. João Moutinho on as a substitute, taking a corner from the right-hand side, and there was Willy Bolly rising high, edge of the 6-yard box, powers a header past Lloris, who gets his hand to it, but can't keep it out. The first thing he's had to do all afternoon. Wolves were well in this game. They've been playing well in the second half. Spurs have been poor by their standards in this